Joe Mann, defensive back receiver.
James Mays, wide receiver, cornerback.
Chase Blackwood, linebacker.
Joseph Royal, quarterback, safety.
Josh Simon, linebacker, running back.
Aiden Barbosa, receiver, safety.
Christian Ethier, running back, linebacker.
Javion Rodan, running back, corner.
Jaden Faison, DN, running back.
Kayvon Scott, wide receiver, safety.
Ryan Guevara, wide receiver, safety.
Julian Garcia, wide receiver and corner.
Kayshawn Smith, DB, running back.
Anthony Russo, quarterback, safety.
Amir Lewis, receiver, linebacker.
Jelani Graham, running back, inside linebacker.
Giovanni Pierre, running back, linebacker.
Rashad Huntington, middle linebacker, fullback.
Israel Lifa, wide receiver and cornerback.
Andrew Smith, DB.
Hector LeBron, linebacker.
Isaiah Sepulveda, running back and linebacker.
Kayvon Harrison, receiver, DB.
Rudy Cherry, running back, outside linebacker.
Punta Kogo, defensive back.
Jaden Sasha, wide receiver, safety.
Marquise Burgos, running back, inside linebacker.
Eric Merlo, D-line.
Isaiah Judge, O-line, D-line.
Tristan Williams, tackle.
Jameson Paz, O-line, D-line.
Matthias McQueen, guard, DN.
Brian Hagan, O-line, D-line.
Gozi Belichukwu, D-line.
Seth Monterey, defensive line.
Nathaniel Hannon, offensive lineman.
Noah Rodriguez, O-line, D-line.
Christian Torres, O-line, D-line.
Joseph Arzu, O-line, D-line, punter.
Damian Douglas, O-line, D-line.
Liam Chester, DN.
Isaiah Torres, O-line, D-line.
David Suazo, kicker.
Jason Lichtenstein, line coach.
Chris Conklin, defensive coordinator.
Phil Carcialetti, quarterback coach.
Mike Conklin, tight ends, inside linebacker coach.
Bobby Mangano, offensive coordinator.
Tim Strenfeld, head coach. Let's go Middletown.
You've seen them on film. Now here is the real thing. Your 2024-2024 Middletown Middies. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask any teacher or staff member who is participating in the Shirt Off Your Back program to please make their way onto the field if you are not already there. Once again, if you are a teacher or staff member and you are participating in the Shirt Off Your Back program, please make your way onto the playing surface if you are not already there. Once again this year, the Middletown football program is continuing a great tradition. The Shirt Off My Back event will recognize and show appreciation to all the adults and staff members who have made a difference in our student athletes' lives. This is an opportunity to highlight teachers and staff who have offered influence and support throughout players' academic careers. We want to thank you, and we want to know that you have made a difference in their lives. They are thankful for your guidance, your effort, and being a person that they can count on. We are forever grateful to have you in our corners, and it would be an honor to have you wear our game jerseys to school. We will be taking a group photo prior to the start of the game to commemorate the occasion. How about a nice round of applause for all of our staff and teachers who were named as Shirt Off Their Back recipients. Once again, how about a nice round of applause for all of our teachers and staff members who were chosen to be a part of Shirt Off Our Backs for the 2024 football season. We wish you nothing but the best of luck in your career this year. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, a message from the student athletes of the Middletown City School District. The OCIAA and Section 9 Athletic Conference is committed to excellence as manifested in an atmosphere of sportsmanship and fair play. Sportsmanship is about demonstrating respect for opposing teams, coaches, and fans, as well as officials. Competition and sportsmanship are not mutually exclusive. They are compatible and complementary goals. Sportsmanship is everyone's responsibility. In the spirit of good sportsmanship, the Middletown Athletic Department and the Section 9 Athletic Council ask you to respect the following school and conference rules. Cheer for your team, not against the visitors. Don't get personal in your comments about players, coaches, or officials. No profanity, vulgarity, racist, or sexist comments shall be tolerated. Give players, coaches, and officials their space while keeping away from the playing areas and team bench areas. Unauthorized individuals who enter the field or court of competition will be immediately removed from the facility. A no-tolerance policy for alcohol and smoking use is in effect at all contests. We have a no re-entry policy here at Fowler Field, so if you leave the stadium for any reason, you may not return. Once again, if you leave the stadium for any reason, you may not return. Please remember to be loud, be proud, and be positive, and thank you very much for attending tonight's game here at Fowler Field. The captains from both schools will meet at midfield. For the visiting Valley Central Vikings, we have number 52, Matt Messing. Looks to be number 8, Dejan Thompson Jr. Number 57, Aiden White. And number 10, Makai Joseph. And for your middies, it is number 15, Jelani Graham. Number 0, Joe Mann. Number 5, Aiden Barbosa. And number 24, Rudy Cherry. Unofficially, Middletown has won the toss and deferred. Valley Central will kick off. Our colors for this evening, ladies and gentlemen, are presented by the Middletown High School chapter of the NJROTC. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise, remove your hats, and face the flag as we honor America and our soldiers stationed at home and abroad with the singing of our national anthem by Middletown Junior Lizette.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, there you have it, folks. A great rendition of the national anthem by Middletown High School junior and cheerleader Lisette. Her last name is Godinez. She did not want that to be known on the public address. She just wants to be known as Lisette. We also want to thank the Middletown NJROTC program for the presentation of Colors at Estrada, along with Anthony Kovacs, Goshen Sr., helping me out this evening. And Anthony, welcome to Fowler. You helped us out for Port Jervis, and now you get round 2 against Valley Central.
Yeah, can't wait for it.
And we'll see Anthony once again. We'll see if we can get our audio fixed for Anthony, as we can't hear him. And we'll test you out again, Anthony. Go ahead. Nope, still no Anthony. So we'll get his headset figured out. In the meantime, we're getting ready here for kickoff on a beautiful October evening in Fowler. Middletown will get the first possession on offense. We believe the Middie Bears won the toss and elected to receive the kickoff. Valley Central coming in with a record of 3-2. They are 1-2 in divisional play. The Middie Bears are 1-5 overall, but nevertheless, they are 1-1 in division. So this is a big matchup between these two teams to see who can claim that 4th playoff spot in Class AA and kind of sneak in there and make some noise. So the Middie Bears coming off a couple of rough losses to Cornwall and Newburgh. Valley Central off of last week's win, off of Kingston, and a little squibbler coming down at about the 15-yard line, across the 20 and the 25, right up the middle. Good field position, still on his feet for Middletown is number 7, Javion Roldan. A good return out to about the 44-yard line. A 29-yard return for Roldan, and Middletown will take over 1st and 10 from their own 44 to start. So as you know, the Middie Bears' JoJo Royal had knee surgery a couple of weeks ago, so they're being led by Anthony Russo, number 13, the junior quarterback, coming in with at 5'10", 155. So 1st and 10, and here's Anthony. Welcome, Anthony. We got our technical difficulties all squared away.
There we go, yeah. Excited back to be at Fowler Field. Great night for football.
And that's Roldan, fresh off of the return, getting the handoff from Russo. In motion from the far side of the field to the near side. He gets back to the original line of scrimmage. No gain for Roldan.
That kickoff, definitely a good start with that return. Good field position for Middletown to use that offense. Get going. You want a fast start. Some subs going out.
And as we mentioned, Middletown coming in with a record of 1-5. Their lone win so far this year, coming up at Dietz Stadium in Kingston. So they're trying this evening on homecoming to put one on the board, their first of the year here at Fowler. Handoff right up the middle this time. Rolled down once again. Gets across the 45 to about the 48-yard line. So a pickup of 4. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for Middletown. They're going to mark him at the 49-yard line. I'm sorry, not the 44. So it's a 5-yard pickup. So 3rd and 5 for the Middie Bears on this opening series.
Yeah, and that Kingston game for Middletown, first home game for Kingston in 2 years with their new field.
Yeah, and Kingston's had it rough so far. They won their opening game of the season, and they're still looking for another one. Russo back to pass on the far side, trying to hook up with Barbosa for Middletown. That's Aiden Barbosa, but the pass is incomplete, and it's going to bring up 4th and 5 from the 49.
Good coverage by the defense there. Got to the ball quick.
So it looks like Middletown is going to go for it here on 4th and 5 on their own side of the field. Perhaps a statement here early on from head coach Tim Strenfeld on how he's going to coach this particular football game against the Vikings. In the shotgun, that's Cherry in motion from right to left. Russo going back to pass. On the far side, he's got him wide open. Lost the first down, but recovers it. Did he recover enough? I'm not sure if they're going to mark him enough for the first down. It's going to be close. So with the reception for Middletown was James Mays. He had the first down, but then went backwards by a couple of yards. But the officials do give him the first down at the 46-yard line. So it's going to be a 5-yard completion.
First drive of the game, being aggressive by Middletown. They want to start early, start fast, quicker than they have earlier in the season. Hopefully their offense could do that, but this defense, Valley Central, they're playing hard.
So 1st and 10 for Middletown. This time Russo is under center at the Valley Central 46. Handoff, Rodon once again. Gets across the 45-yard line, picks up about 2 on the play to the 44.
That Valley Central defense is quick to the ball, winning the line of scrimmage pretty early on here.
So no Jelani Graham here for Middletown. He's on the sideline near midfield, has not come in yet. Not sure if it's health related. We'll try to get some information for you later on in the game. But for now, Graham's on the sideline. 2nd and 8 for Middletown from the Valley Central 44. Rodon again. This time he's got a spark. And there he goes. Rodon to the end zone. No laundry on the field. Touchdown for Middletown.
And that's the way you want to start a game. Getting the running game going. Later in the game, you're going to see the passing game open up from that. The feet just kept on moving and pushing the tacklers off.
He's not a big guy, Rodon is, coming in at 5'7", 140, so he was a little lost in that pack, but he got through that defensive front for Valley Central and takes it to the house 44 yards, and Middletown's on the board early with 8:06 remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, clearly. Bad snap.
And you had the call, Anthony, and he's tackled on the play by Valley Central's Makai Joseph, one of the team captains. So the bad snap leads to a missed extra point, and Middletown can't extend after the touchdown. So with 8:06 remaining here in the first quarter, a good start on the opening possession, capped off by a 4th and 5 near midfield that head coach Tim Strenfeld took a shot with.
Yeah, it's a gutsy call. Early in the game, you have a good field position. You don't want to let that go to waste. If you give it up and let Valley Central get the ball, you don't know how your defense is going to respond so quickly. But early on, take the risk, see what happens, and Middletown has paid off so far.
That was a 56-yard drive that began on the 44. It was pretty much all Javion Roldan for Middletown, who took the opening kickoff at about the 15, took it 29 yards to the 44, and then he finishes up on the bookend with a 44-yard touchdown run to give Middletown the early lead.
Valley Central is going to look to respond quickly, and seen in previous games, they are a very run-heavy team. But this secondary for Middletown, we've seen get beaten. In the Port Jervis Erie Bell game, there were some big plays in the open field.
And a little onside kick. Did Middletown catch Valley Central napping and recover? They did. And head coach Tim Strenfeld is taking out everything tonight. And just like that, the Middie Bears regain possession.
What a call. You catch the special teams napping, expecting to get the regular kickoff, take it to your advantage, and get the ball right back in even better field position than they had their first drive.
So Valley Central started off the year with 2 wins against Washingtonville 30-6 and Valley Central 20-14, and then lost a couple of games to Pine Bush 34-14, and then a big loss to Newburgh at 54-0 before coming away with a Kingston win at 24-13. So another handoff up the middle, Rodan. Another carry to the 47-yard line. So a pickup of 2 for Rodan.
Still using that running game. Seeing maybe we'll see a pass play and see if it opens up the field. Saw it on the 4th down conversion. Used that. Went right back to the run and they scored. See if Middletown can keep this momentum.
So far, only 2 pass attempts here by Russo. Middletown, the first one incomplete. The second one, a big 5-yard connection on that 4th and 5 that gave Middletown its first down. Back to passes, Russo. Big rush by Valley Central. Russo does a nice job getting away. He's at the 45, still on his feet, and gets down to the 43-yard line in what looked like a loss with a sack. Russo turns into positive yardage.
And that's just escaping the rush. That's just finding an open hole and taking it.
So a 4-yard gain for Russo. And it's going to give Middletown a 3rd and 4 from the Valley Central 43. They need to get to the 39 to convert on this first down. On this 4th down, that is. Middletown needs to get to the line quick. 7 seconds left on the play clock. Down to 1. And they're not going to get this off. Unless the head coach called a timeout, we'll find out. And they do. So Tim Strenfeld does get a timeout just before the play clock goes to 0.
Before the play clock expired, timeout Middletown.
And so 6:10 left in the game clock here in the first quarter. Ed Estrada, Anthony Kovacs, Ed Diller, our producer, bringing you all the action from Fowler. And we want to thank all of the Middletown GERTEC crew who are bringing you all of the shots camera-wise here at Fowler on a beautiful evening in Middletown, homecoming weekend for the Middie Bears. A nice crowd from the Middletown side and nice little slew from Montgomery coming down from Valley Central. Only about a 15-minute ride between the two schools down 211 here in the beautiful Hudson Valley. Middletown taking the opening drive, 56 yards, capped off by a 44-yard touchdown run from Middie Bears senior Javion Roldan. He's had 5 carries so far on the evening for 53 yards. And Middletown facing a 3rd and 4 from the Valley Central 43. Handoff. Rodan once again. This time a nice job by number 52 of Valley Central on the defense. Matt Messing, one of the team captains.
Hey, girl just fainted up here. We're good though. Send the EMPs up just to be safe.
Russo's pass is complete to number 5, Aiden Barbosa. Barbosa is tackled by number 5, Denzel St. John. That's a gain of 4 on the play, and that will bring up 3rd and 4 for the Middies. Ball is inside the Viking 15 at the Viking 12-yard line.
So my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We did have a little bit of an emergency here in the press box, so that is being handled. I'm going to try to give you some description of the game, but for now we won't have any video. Middletown has the football, leading 6-0 with 3.5 remaining here in the first quarter. They're driving on their second possession. Ed Estrada along with Anthony Kovacs, bringing you all the action. And once again, we'll get the video going for you once we get our little bit of an emergency here taken care of. It's 4th down and goal for Middletown. I'm sorry, 4th down and 2. They're at the Valley Central 9-yard line. They need to get to the 7 for a first down. Trying to rush it right up the middle. A good push by that Middletown offensive line, and then driven backwards. We'll see where they mark the football.
That first little shove might have gone him there. Middletown is in this position from a 25-plus yard run.
The near ref looks like he has it marked, but no, Valley Central holds just short of the marker, and so it's a turnover on downs for Middletown after they sprung a little bit of a surprise with the onside kick.
Yeah, that Valley Central defense did not break. They might have bent, but they held strong, got the turnover on downs, and hopefully we'll see some offense here for the first time of the night.
So 3:01 remaining here in the first quarter. Can you get in? Can you get in? She fainted a little bit. So 1st and 10, the first play on offense for Valley Central, deep in their own zone. It was a handoff. The top running back for the Vikings is Julian Montreville, who's had an outstanding start to the season. He's number 2, and he had the carry.
And just automatically stuffed by the Middletown D-line.
So for Montreville, no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 for the Vikings. Handoff once again, but nice job by Middletown's number 21 who got in the backfield. That was Hector LeBron with a nice job and then got some additional help. It's going to be a loss on the play of a yard back to the 7-yard line. 3rd and 11 for Valley Central.
Both the offense and defense on the field both have fresh legs. And seemingly Middletown is just getting to the ball very quickly. Fast feet, fast reaction time. Seems like their chemistry is definitely working tonight.
3rd and 11 for the Vikings. The quarterback is Orozco. He's going to hold on to the football and has got some good yardage, but not enough for a first down. Gets it out for about a 3-yard gain to the 10.
And that's going to lead to a punt by Valley Central.
And here come the Vikings. Not only are they going to punt, they're going to punt deep in their own territory.
And with such a small field to work with, punter needs to be careful not to make sure he backs up, steps out of bounds, but Valley Central should be good with 5 yards behind the punter.
That might have been Luke Watson on the carry. About as good a kick as you can expect from the end zone, but recovered from Middletown at about the 40. Works it upfield. That's number 11 for the Middie Bears, Julian Garcia, on the return. And he takes it from about the 37-yard line all the way inside the 30, or they'll mark him right at about the 30-yard line, where Middletown will have their 3rd offensive possession of the quarter, 1st and 10.
And again, great starting field position. Every drive they've gotten better and better field position. They've only started one time in their own territory tonight. It gives them a lot more opportunities on offense and keeps this Valley Central defense on the field longer and longer.
First and 10 for the Middie Bears. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we will have some video for you running pretty soon. Right now, you're just looking at a beautiful shot from our roof camera. We did have a medical emergency here in the middle press box that they're taking care of. Middletown's finest, the MPD, as well as EMT, helping us out. Delay a game for Middletown, not what you wanted to do on the first play coming off the sideline.
Yeah, you want your offense to be ready, definitely know what they're doing. This offense just needs to communicate right. As we've seen, they just did get stopped in their last
dead
drive.
ball. Delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
So it'll be 1st and 15 for the Middie Bears from the 35. Mind you, Coach Strenfel's already called a timeout here in the first quarter exactly for the same reason of avoiding a delay of game penalty, but this time he chooses to take the penalty yardage. We're back up and running with some video from our Gertex here, right up the middle. A big hole. A nice job by that Middletown offensive line, opening up a big hole for Rodon. And he takes the ball all the way from the 35-yard line inside the 25 to about the 24 for a pickup of about 11 yards on the play.
And Middletown using the running game to their advantage. If they can keep running the ball, they're not going to have to throw those pass attempts and give Valley Central the opportunity to force a turnover. They're going to keep them on the field, keep their legs tired, see what happens.
2nd and 4 for Middletown. From the Valley Central 24, they lead at 6-0. Last 30 seconds here in the first quarter. Big hit that time on Rodon.
Just no room for him to go there, just automatically hit hard.
It's a 1-yard loss on the play. 3rd and 5, and that'll do it here in the first quarter. And Middletown will head into the second stanza up 6-0.
That's the end of the first quarter.
On homecoming weekend here at Fowler Field. And Anthony, what do you think of the game so far?
Middletown's offense has been very, very good compared to previous games, such as the Erie Bell game. Communication has been much better, but they do have to work out some of the small things, getting to the line in time. Valley Central's defense, they're bending, have not broken yet. Time of possession has been very off, as we've seen. And yet, it's only a 6-point game.
So from that perspective, and you're right on, the Middie Bears really need to put some points on the board here on this drive to give them the feel that they've dominated like they have. You don't want to keep coming away with nothing on some of these drives. So if they can score on this particular one, that would mean points on 2 of their first 3 offensive possessions, and that's what you want to have because you don't want to let Valley Central keep hanging on and hanging on. And what's at stake here, folks, is probably a good possibility of the winner of this game being the 4th place team in a 4-team playoff system. You know that Newburgh, Monroe Woodbury, and likely Pine Bush will probably get the first 3 slots. Middletown still has to play both Monroe and Pine Bush, so they'll have a couple of tough games left on the board. As we mentioned earlier, Valley Central has already lost to Pine Bush and lost to Newburgh. So a loss here to Middletown and still having to face Monroe Woodbury later might pose a problem for the Vikings. 3rd and 5. And it looks like Valley Central came across, but were they lured across by an infraction on the Middie Bear side?
We got dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So Coach Strenfeld on the near side, who's trying to give instruction to Anthony Russo for the next play, is a little bit baffled. He thought for sure that it was Valley Central that came across first and instigated the motion.
Yeah, Middletown definitely needs to get communication down pat. You don't want to be forcing penalties on yourself, pushing yourself back. You want to have a fast start, quick scores. You don't want the other team, Valley Central, to be hanging around all game, and one score, they have the lead.
3rd and 10. Back to passes Russo, looking downfield, over the middle. He's got a receiver! Did he keep it? Touchdown! Rolled Barbosa on the catch. Aiden Barbosa, a nice toss. Just enough air under that football, Anthony, for him to come down with it.
Yeah, what a catch. Dragging the feet, diving for the ball, holding on, getting the score that Middletown needs in order to have a little comfort, you say, behind them to show them that they've dominated this first half. So full.
30-yard touchdown toss. Anthony Russo to Aiden Barbosa. Extra point is up, and the extra point is good by David Suazo Castillo. And the Middie Bears extend out to a 13-0 lead in the opening play of the second quarter.
And they clean up their little mistake they had on special teams with the bad snap, hold, and get the PAT through.
Exactly what Middletown needed. They've had a lot of trouble this year getting off the mat to start ball games. They had a 17-0 deficit against Cornwall 2 weeks ago on the road in Cornwall against a very difficult, one of the better teams in Section 9. And then the Middie Bears came back in the second half, did a nice job, and almost won that ball game at the end before falling short 17-12. Last week in Newburgh, same exact thing, fell behind 21-0, came back at 21-14, had Newburgh pretty much on the ropes in the third quarter, and then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, things unraveled where the Goldbacks finally ran away with it. But they have shown some spark this year on a team that was decimated by graduation this year. Nice kick that time on the near side at the 15. Over the 25, still on his feet at the 30-yard line, still going at the 35. A nice job on the return that time. I believe that was number 81, Logan Young, on the return for the Vikings, and it brings Valley Central its second possession of the evening and their best starting field position.
Yeah, Middletown coming over a lot of adversity, fighting back in these games, trying to keep it close. But tonight, starting off pretty hot on offense, getting scores, which they need, scoring on 2 of their first 3 drives, and now Valley Central on offense.
And VC's going to want a sustained drive here to keep its defense, who's been on the field for almost the entirety of the first half. Over the middle, it's caught by number 3, but a nice job on defense for Middletown, not giving them much room. Luke Watson, by the way, is the quarterback. In the past, it's been Jaden Orozco, the senior. This time it's going to be Luke Watson throwing the football to Derek Vincent, the tight end, for a pickup of 1 on the play.
Yeah, Valley Central just needs to get the stepping stones on offense in place in order to give themselves a chance.
Handoff up the middle. Montreville at the 40, the 45-yard line. And across the 45, he's got enough for I believe, a Valley Central first down at the 47. We'll see where they mark it. And it is a first down for Valley Central.
That's definitely some good momentum, get the running game going. Clearly, from past games, Valley Central is a very run-heavy team. Middletown does not have the best secondary in all of
in Section 9 this year, yeah, it's been difficult. For Montreville, a 9-yard gain and a Valley Central first down, their first of the night. He's got the football again on the far side, and a nice tackle that time on the outside.
Middletown quick to the ball. They got fresh legs out there. Their defense has only been out there for maybe 6 minutes.
A nice tackle that time by Garcia for Middletown, a 1-yard gain for Montreville.
2nd and 10.
Once again, it is Luke Watson at the helm for Valley Central, going back to pass, rolling towards his right. Tried to keep the football. This time he's going to throw it downfield, and is it intercepted? No, they're going to say it hit the mat. It was intended that time for Derek Vincent, who fumbled the ball up in the air. Middletown, Jelani Graham, I think that might have been, or it was Barbosa, who almost came down with a tipped ball interception.
Yeah. Running out of the pocket. Quarterback Luke Watson just trying to find an open man. Throws downfield. Derek Vincent not ready for the ball. Tip drill. That's why you practice it.
A couple of times there it looked like he wanted to run the football, Watson, but he decided to throw it. This time he's going to keep it. Gets across midfield, but a nice stop that time by Middletown's number 33. That was Marquise Burgos on the tackle.
That'll make it 4th and 8. Looks like Valley Central is bringing out the punt unit.
Ball's marked at the 49-yard line, so it's a pickup of 4 yards on the play, so it's 4th and 6. On the second carry of the night by Valley Central's Watson. They're going to punt the football here. No, it's a fake. On the near side, can Middletown stop him? He's near midfield, and he goes out of bounds short of the first down, and Middletown is going to take over on downs.
Another great field position for Middletown's offense to start on. Their 4th offensive drive, starting on their 45 or better.
Jaden Sarlo, the punter, came in to kick the football for Valley Central. Instead, Middletown was ready for the fake, and Barbosa on the near side, he knew the sideline was his friend that time and just kept stringing Sarlo out until he finally went out of bounds short of the first down marker.
Yeah, just force him out of bounds, get him to stop, and turn over the ball.
1st and 10 for the Middie Bears. They're at their own 46-yard line. Give up the middle. For somebody we have not mentioned all night long, I believe that's number 15, Jelani Graham, and it is for his first carry. And he took a load of Vikings with him on that opening carry for 8 yards on the play.
Fresh legs, keeping those fresh legs in the game. You have the defense for Middletown, who's only been on the field for so long. And now Jelani Graham coming into the game for the first time all night on offense, and he's making an impact with 8-yard run.
Boy, if Rodon and Graham get going, Rodon is that sneaky back who's trying to find every nook and cranny. Graham's like, nah, I don't need the nook and crannies. I'm just going to tear down the wall.
Yeah, just bulldozes through defenders.
Graham again in the backfield, Russo under center, 2nd and 2 for Middletown. The pitch over to Graham. He's at the 45, got a first down at the 40. Turns it upfield at the 35 before he's finally tackled out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Middletown.
Middletown, ground and pound. That's their game plan tonight, and it's working so far. It's been successful. Both running backs, fast, quick legs. One's plowing through defenders, the other one's just taking them with them.
14-yard pickup for Graham and a Middletown first down to the Valley Central 32. Middie Bears leading at 13-0, 7.5 remaining here in the opening half. Handoff up the middle at the 25, the 20-yard line, and another first down pickup for Middletown. This time, a new running back for the Middie Bears. I believe that might be Joseph Mann. Or it may be Jaden. No, it was Jaden Faison, I think. Number 8. Yep, that's who it was. So the ball goes from the 32-yard line all the way to the 19, a 13-yard pickup.
Continuing just to use the run to their advantage. This Valley Central defense has just been spent on time and energy. It's a handoff, Jelani Graham, and just pushed out of bounds.
Still on his feet. It took like 3 Vikings to finally bring him down.
Rocked him at the end there.
And actually only ended up being a no-gainer there. So good job by Valley Central that time. Gang tackling Jelani Graham for no pickup on his 3rd carry of the evening. So 2nd down. Actually going to mark him with a loss of a yard. So 2nd down and 11. Russo under center. On the near side, Rudy Cherry's got the football. He's at the 20. Gets some good blocking upfield. Rudy Cherry near the end zone. Does he get in? No, there's a flag down near the 15, so that might come back. There's no indication on whether he went out of bounds or scored the touchdown. And it is coming back for a Middletown hold. It'll be a spot foul. It's looking from at about the 15-yard line. So if they mark it back 10 yards from that, back to the 25.
Make it 2nd and 21.
We got a block in the back, 5 on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. We're going to repeat 2nd down.
Yeah, they'll mark it at the 15-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down at the 25-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 15, maybe 16. 2nd down and 16, since it was a spot foul.
Middletown with a nicely designed play there, just penalty ruined it. As long as you make up those little mistakes, everything goes right for Middletown so far. Jelani Graham in the backfield.
Yep, Graham in the backfield. Faison gets the pitch, though. He's at the 25, the 20-yard line's got some blockers in front at the 10, and there's another flag that's probably going to be another Middletown hold that really at that point was inconsequential because the first down was already in the back pocket.
Yeah, Middletown punishing themselves on this drive, which they haven't done tonight besides the delay of game. But they need to capitalize, continuing just to put them in a comfortable spot.
We got holding. Number 5 on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of foul, repeat 2nd down.
And because it was a spot foul, Middletown actually gains about 3 yards on the difference and still gets the 2nd down repeated. But on the last 2 plays, Middletown has been running the ball at will. Unfortunate that there's been 2 holding calls, but on both instances, the holds really didn't have a factor on the play itself.
Yeah, just Middletown continuing to use the fresh legs. They have almost 4 great running backs on their team and just using it to their advantage.
And this time Russo's going to work. He's going to have to call a timeout. There is a flag on the play, but there is.
Before the delay game, we had a timeout, Middletown.
So for the 3rd time today, twice of those 3 times, Middletown has had to call a timeout before the delay of game penalty, and one, Coach Strenfeld needed to take the penalty, something they desperately need to work on here as the game progresses.
Yeah, positions in the game, you don't want to be holding yourself back as a team, and if the communication isn't there, you're going to just keep doing it.
So this will be 2nd down from the 23-yard line, actually the 22-yard line. They need to get to the 9, so it's going to be 2nd and 13 from the Valley Central 22 for Middletown. With 5:32 remaining in the first half, Ed Estrada, Goshen senior Anthony Kovacs, Ed Diller, our producer, and all the Gertex here at Middletown High School bringing you all the video from homecoming weekend here at Middletown as they take on the Vikings of Valley Central.
On a perfect night for football, weather is amazing.
No wind, which is very key in an October evening. But we'll take this any day of the week. 2nd and 13 for Middletown. From the Valley Central 22, as I mentioned earlier, they need to get to the 9-yard line to get a first down and extend this drive. Russo on the pitch. This is Rodin on the far side. He's at the 20, down near the 15 before he goes out of bounds, inside the 15 at the 14, and that'll make it a more manageable 3rd and 5 for Middletown.
Yeah, 2nd reverse. We've seen this drive. This play, we did not see a penalty. Definitely a successful play, just keeping the running going. As long as they can do it in different fashion and keep disguising it for the defense to not be able to read, it'll be successful.
8-yard pickup for Rodin. That's his 8th carry of the first half. Might have a couple of more. We missed some action early in the 2nd quarter due to a medical emergency here in the press box. That's been handled. 3rd and 5. This time it's Faison up the middle. He's got enough for a Middletown first down. Still on his feet before they finally whistle the play dead, but he's down near the 7-yard line, and that's more than enough to bring up 1st and goal for Middletown.
Middletown trying to come up with some more points as they take on their 4th drive of the game on offense and continue to just run.
7-yard pickup for Jaden Faison for Middletown. He takes it to the Valley Central 7. 1st and goal for the Middie Bears with Russo under center and Jelani Graham in the backfield. Graham at the 5. Trying to get upfield, still on his feet, down near the 3, and a good pickup to the 2-yard line for Graham. 5 yards, it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2.
Yeah, Middletown's been able to win the line of scrimmage thus far and capitalized on it.
Valley Central will get the football to start the second half, so the Middie Bears definitely want to do some damage here. As Joseph Mann runs in from the sideline with the play for his QB, Anthony Russo. 10 on the play clock. Graham in the backfield with Russo under center. Fumbled on the snap. Russo keeps the football. Does he get across? I think they're going to mark him just short. But good thinking that time. He'll pick up a yard on the play to the 1-yard line. Russo fumbled the snap and had the presence of mind to just run with the football because the intention was to hand it off to Graham.
Yeah, good way to save the drive.
This time Graham sidesteps and walks in from 1 yard out, and that's a Middie Bear touchdown.
Middletown able to capitalize once again with their fierce running game.
3:28 remaining here in the first half. It's been all Middletown. Only 8 offensive plays in the first half so far for Valley Central, and that explains the big deficit as the Middie Bears, Castillo in to try the extra point. Kick is up. And the kick is good by David Suazo Castillo. And with 3:28 remaining in the first half, the Middie Bears extend to a 20-0 lead.
And already, they've scored more points than their past games. And hopefully that'll give them the edge to keep the lead and come away with the victory, which is a much needed in their division.
Yep, the Middie Bears have only scored over 20 points once this year on the road at Kingston in a 44-14 win. So we are watching an explosive offense for the Middie Bears for only the second time this year.
Being able to capitalize on the run, bending Valley Central's defense, keeping them on the field, wearing their players out. And in high school, you got two-way players all around the field.
And next week for both these teams, Middletown will be on the road at Pine Bush, a big game. That'll be a 2 o'clock start at Pine Bush on October 26th. So that's a week from tomorrow. And for Valley Central, they'll be at home to Monroe Woodbury, a big game. Kickoff still on his feet. A nice job by the returner. He's at the 35, the 40, across midfield. A great return by Valley Central's Logan Young. He had a nice return earlier, and he gives Valley Central its best field position of the night.
If you're Valley Central, that's exactly what you want for your team. Good way to start some momentum for your offense.
Return. We got a hold on the return team. 10 yards from the spotted foul, going to be first down.
So we did not see the laundry on the far side of the flat of the field at the 40-yard line, so they'll mark 10 yards back from that and negate a great return by Logan Young back to the 30-yard line.
Still not terrible field position for your offense to start at.
You got to be careful here not to turn the ball over, though, because you're in your own territory. And right now, this is about the only time right now, at least, that VC has an opportunity because they get the ball here. If they can put up some points, they get the ball to start the second half, and they can put up a couple of scores and get right back into it. There's the pitch. Montreville at the 30-yard line gets across the 30 to the 31 for a pickup of 1, but a nice job by that Middletown defense stringing along until they got some support.
Yeah, number 1, James Mays, coming in quick to get that play under wraps and keep him up to a 1-yard gain.
Now remember, Montreville has had some big games this year. He had 205 yards on 21 carries in the opening game of the year against Washingtonville. That was a VC win, 30-6. And then he had 105 yards later on against Wallkill in a 20-14 win as well. Inside handoff. Nice job that time defensively. That's Garcia coming up to make the stop against Makai Joseph, one of the team captains for Valley Central. They'll give him another yard on the play, but just like that, Valley Central faces a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, on that play, it looked like Makai Joseph had a hole, but the defense of Middletown just moving to the ball very quickly.
Back to pass is Young trying to scramble at the 30. Jelani Graham tackles him out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Going to keep the clock running as the tackle was made in bounds.
And even at the end of the play, you see the ball coming out.
3 yards on the pickup by Luke Watson, the quarterback, and just like that, with a minute and a half left.
Middletown, that is their final timeout of the half.
Middie Bear seeing an opportunity to perhaps put up another score before halftime here as Valley Central faces a 4th down and 5, and will have to punt the football from the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Middletown definitely has enough time to be able to capitalize. The running game does chew the clock, but the possibility of using that running game to open up the passing game, like I've said earlier in the game, maybe we see it this next drive.
You see the light and music show here at Fowler Field, one of the few places in high school football that have it right now in Section 9, but we've seen in the past Middletown be a little bit of a trendsetter when it comes to these fields, so my guess is everybody will have the light show sometime in the near future. So some added entertainment here on homecoming weekend at Fowler Field in Middletown.
Definitely a great thing to watch, entertainment.
For those of you who have joined us here on Middie TV and 845 Sports Nation, giving you an update on the baseball score. The Mets leading the Dodgers 10-2, still in the 4th inning of that one. You would think the Mets might want to try to save some of those runs for later in the week.
Yeah, high-scoring affair.
So here's the Valley Central punt, 4th and 5 from their own 35-yard line. A nice kick, but a line drive coming at about the 30. Garcia fumbles it at the 25 where he recovers, and it's going to get tackled by that Valley Central special teams. Nice job on coverage after a good punt for the Vikings, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Middletown at about the 27-yard line with 1:26 remaining. And we'll see what head coach Tim Strenfeld does in this last minute and a half and the football in his own side.
Yeah, Middletown, they can capitalize. Puts a lot of stress on Valley Central and urgency for them to start scoring, which they must already have being down 20.
So Anthony Russo, who's now firmly planted as the Middletown quarterback here in 2024 after the knee surgery on Middletown freshman JoJo Royal, who started the season as the quarterback. Russo from the shotgun. Going to go straight back to pass. On the far sideline, a nice toss over the defender, and coming down with the first down yardage is number 1, James Manns on the play.
And that's exactly what you want to start to drive. Some momentum through the passing game. Not using as much clock. Looks like it's quick to the line of scrimmage for Middletown.
11 yards on the connection. Clock running at 1:09. And Russo spikes the football to stop the clock. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the Middletown 38-yard line.
Clock management, you practice the 2-minute drill. See if Middletown can perform it.
As we go to break at halftime, the Middletown cheerleaders and the marching middies will perform. 2nd and 10, 1:06 remaining here in the first half. Russo rolls to his left, looking downfield. Nice pass, a touch pass to Barbosa near midfield. It's going to be close to a first down. We'll see where they mark the football. Barbosa did a nice job running the pattern for the first down, and it'll be a Middie Bear first down at their own 48-yard line, 10-yard hookup.
Anthony Russo just able to find the opening for that throw.
An off-balance throw at that.
And a great way to get out of bounds, too, by Barbosa to stop the clock.
58 seconds. Middletown has it on their own side at the 48, leading in the ball game 20-0. Russo this time rolls to the strong side. Trying to find downfield. Instead, he carries it out of bounds inside Valley Central territory at the 49.
Gets around 2 yards.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup to the 49-yard line for Russo. 2nd and 7 as he goes out of bounds. 48 seconds. The clock is stopped.
Middletown's been able to use the passing game this drive and less of the run. With less time in the 2-minute drill, you want to get down the field quickly. No timeouts. Spiking the ball, getting out of bounds. It's good communication by the offense.
8 seconds left on the play clock. Russo from the shotgun. Back to pass. Over the middle. He's got a receiver at about the 47-yard line. Just a short pickup of 2 yards.
And definitely going to want to get to the line of scrimmage quick here. Don't want to waste too much time. Almost at 30 seconds left in the first half.
That was Mays on the carry. On the near side, it was caught by Barbosa. But the clock's going to keep running with 17 seconds, and it's going to bring up a 4th down for Middletown. He can't spike the football here.
Looks like they're going to go for it.
This is going to have to be a quick Hail Mary. 5 seconds left on the play clock. They're going to need to get it off. 2, 1. They do get the ball off, and this is going to go downfield. It's overthrown, intercepted by St. John. Can he make some points on it? And boy, this is a nightmare finish to the first half for Middletown as Denzel St. John returns an interception for a Valley Central touchdown on the last play of the first half.
That is exactly what Valley Central could have asked for, could have prayed for, and they got it here. Gives them a great opportunity to start the second half in a way different position than what we would have imagined.
So Middletown, with the unfortunate turnover, the first of the night for either team, and it becomes a long interception return for number 5, Denzel St. John. As now Valley Central is in to attempt the extra point. Number 89, Jaden Sarlo. It's a good snap, and the kick is up. And the kick is good. And with no time left on the clock.
That's the end of the first half.
As you hear from our official, an orange moon arising here at Fowler Field. And for Valley Central, some fortunate play at the end, and unfortunate for Middletown. They come away with the interception return as we go to halftime, 20-7 Middletown.
Yeah, and if you can remember the first Black Friday football game of last year for the NFL, there was a right before halftime pick 6, 100 yards. That's what that reminded me of there, and that just swings the whole game.
Absolutely. So we'll see what Middletown's defense does as Valley Central gets the football to start the second half. The Middie Bears really dominated the first half and had a 20-0 lead up until the very last play when Valley Central finally gets on the board with a defensive touchdown. So Anthony Kovacs and Ed Estrada along with Ed Diller will take a break here at halftime. Your score from Fowler Field, Middletown leading the Vikings 20-7 at the half. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Fowler Field here on the campus of Middletown High School. Ed Estrada, Anthony Kovacs, and Ed Diller, along with our crack Gertech crew, bringing you all of the action. Middletown leading Valley Central 20-7. Anthony on a first half that was dominated by Middletown, but a little flash of hope for Valley Central on the last play of the half.
Yeah, Middletown did everything right on offense as far as you could say and see. But the end of the half, you have an interception, and Middletown kicks another onside kick to see if the special teams is
Boy, I got to talk to Coach Strenfeld after this ball game. I think Valley Central fell on the football. We'll see. Yep, so the Vikings did recover that onside, so they were a little bit more prepared than they were on the first one in the first half, and they'll have good field possession down by 13 to start the second half.
Yeah, good way for your offense
we
to
had
start.
first touching on the kicking team. It's going to be Valley Central ball, 1st and 10.
So on top of the onside, Middletown with the penalty touching the football before Valley Central did. So Vikings will have it in Middletown territory. And that's Montrevel on his feet at the 40, and a good gainer, extending that Valley Central momentum from the last play of the game from the 49-yard line, goes all the way down to the 37. A pickup. Actually, they had marked it at the 46, so it's going to be – no, that ball definitely was marked at the 49-yard line. So an 11-yard pickup for Montrevel, 1st and 10 for Valley Central. Up-tempo. Again, Montrevel on the carry across the 35. They're trying to catch Middletown flat-footed to start here in the second half, and it's worked so far as the ball's marked near the 31-yard line.
Yeah, Valley Central getting quick to the line, trying to keep their momentum from the pick 6 that helped them get the 7 points right before half, and just trying to keep the momentum on their side.
So 7-yard pickup, 2nd and 3. Got to keep the football. Watson does. He's got enough for a Valley Central first down to the Middletown 25-yard line. And just like that, the fortunes are changing here at Fowler.
Yeah, it looks like the tides are turning here. And Valley Central.
Timeout, injury.
We do have a player down for Valley Central near the 30-yard line as the trainer comes out. So we'll try to reset here as things are moving quite fast here to start the second half. As the ball is marked at the Middletown 25-yard line. That was a 7-yard pickup for Valley Central quarterback Luke Watson on the carry. And it gives the Vikings a 1st and 10 from the Middletown 25-yard line as they tend to the player down, who I believe is number 52 for the Vikings. That's Matt Messing, one of the team captains for Valley Central, who's down at the 30-yard line. The Middie Bears lead it 20-7. They dominated the first half and had a 20-0 lead up until the very last play when Valley Central's number 81, Logan Young, returned an interception for a touchdown. And with the extra point, Valley Central went into the half down by 13 at 20-7. As the Valley Central athletic trainer now is joined by Middletown's athletic staff at the 30-yard line, tending to number 52, Matt Messing, for Valley Central. So far here to start the third quarter, the Vikings have been working on the strength of Julian Montrevel on a couple of nice runs. The half started on an onside kick by Middletown that was unsuccessful, coming down at about the 46-yard line, and on top of it, Middletown touched the football illegally, costing them another 5 yards and giving Valley Central a 1st and 10 at the Middletown 49 to start the second half. An 11-yard run by Montrevel brought the ball to the 38-yard line, and then he followed that up with another 7-yard scamper to the 32.
Yeah,
as Messing gets a nice round of applause by Middletown as he sits up at the 30.
Yeah, gutsy call from Middletown to start the half. seeing as if they want their momentum back, and yet they give up great field position.
Yeah, it was trying to catch them napping. They caught them napping on an onside kick earlier, but typically with a 13-point lead, you want your defense to get favorable position and kick the ball away, but maybe head coach Tim Strenfeld saw something in that Valley Central formation on the kickoff, as they still are tending to messing at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and Valley Central has used that position to drive down the field so far.
Yeah, they've had 3 plays totaling 25 yards on the pickup, an 11-yard rush by Montreval, another one by Montreval of 7 yards, and then just recently Luke Watson for 7 yards to give them a first down at the Middletown 25, as Messing comes off the field on his own. One of the captains.
Tough to lose a captain. Very strong part of the team, commanding the men. Back on offense for Valley Central.
Montreval to the right in the backfield. He's got the carry. And Middletown kind of using that injury time to regroup. The stop that time by Jaden Faison. A short gain of 1 for Montreval, 2nd and 9 for the Vikings.
Yeah, using that, regroup, get your heads back in the game, realize you have this 13-point lead, use it to your advantage. You want your defense on the A game.
Another handoff to Montreval. Finds some running room, but a nice job defensively by Joseph Mann for the Middie Bears, along with number 33, Marquise Burgos, on the stop after a pickup of 3 on the play for Montreval, and a big 3rd down and 6 for the Vikings from the Middletown 21.
Yeah, your Valley Central here, you want to get these points out of the half. Coming in after the pick 6, you want to keep the momentum, get your team in that right mentality. Back on offense, 3rd and 6.
Still more than 10 seconds on the play clock. Rolling to his right is Watson, looking downfield, in the air. He's got a man, but overthrows the intended receiver, Mason McDonald, in the end zone, and it's going to be 4th down. The running game was working there. I'm a little surprised they didn't consider this 2-down territory and try to run the football on 3rd down with Montreval.
Yeah, from offensive coordinator standpoint, I would say, yeah. I would say so, yeah. You use that 3rd down, get a few extra yards, and maybe able to give yourself an easier 4th down conversion. And yet, it looks like the offense is still staying on the field, and Valley Central is going to go for it.
So 4th down with the Vikings, a big play for this Middletown defense to try to stem this Viking momentum. Watson again rolling to his right, in the air, and it falls incomplete. It was intended for number 3, Derek Vincent, who was shadowed on the play by Jelani Graham, and Middletown bends, but they don't break, and the Vikings turn the ball over on downs.
Yeah, it looks like number 3, Derek Vincent, had an open catch, but just slipped through the hands. Definitely need to convert the 4th downs, keep the momentum going, moving the chains. Unable to do it, Valley Central.
So Jaden Orozco has been the quarterback for the Vikings for most of this year, and Luke Watson is behind the helm this time tonight, but he's only 1 of 4 on the night. A little surprising, 2 pass plays there for the Vikings on that drive. And that's going to stop a flag for illegal procedure, illegal motion for Middletown. It's going to cost them 5.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
So not a good start on their first play from scrimmage here in the 3rd quarter with 9:13 remaining in the 3rd for Middletown. It's going to bring up 1st and 15 from their own 16-yard line.
It's the little things. Got to get them right. Seems at a half that Middletown's not where they were in the first half as of right now. Just trying to get back on that same page.
The give to Faison. Tackled on the play by Denzel St. John. Pickup of 5, so they get back the penalty yardage to the 21.
Yeah, Middletown's full of different types of running backs. You have the quick, speedy guy who tries to get in the open space and just shifty. Then you have Jelani Graham, who you know can do it all. And Faison, who's that bigger
he's
running
like right
back.
in the middle.
He's
yeah,
right in the middle.
He's between Rodon and Jelani Graham. 2nd and 10. A little fumble on the exchange, and making him pay for it was number 78, Braden Davies, for the Vikings. It's going to be a loss of 3 back to the 18-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and 13 for Middletown.
Yeah, it looks like this Valley Central defense finally got that deserved break.
It was a fake inside handoff to Graham and then followed through to Faison, but there was a fumble on the exchange between Russo and Faison, and that cost him any chance of momentum on the play. Russo straight back to pass. Big rush by the Vikings. Throws it over the middle, and coming down with the football is number 1, James May. It'll be well short of the first down. Dangerous throw in the middle of 3 Viking defenders.
Yeah, cross body. That's number 1 rule. Your coach tells you, do not throw that cross body pass and across the field. Because you know that linebacker or cornerback can just come running in and pick it off. You don't want to see another pick 6. Tides will turn once again.
So Mays made the catch. It was an 8-yard reception, but they needed 13 on the play. So 4th and 5, and Middletown will be forced to punt. First time we'll see the Middletown punter. And that's Faison who'll do the kicking on the near side. Almost looked like it hit a Viking, and I think it did the way the Vikings are going after it. Might have hit the back heel, and we'll see what the call is here. They're still trying to figure out who came up with the football. It looked like it hit the back heel of one of the Vikings who didn't know the football was coming down behind him, and Middletown's got it.
Wow, what a way to keep the drive going from a muff punt almost. Looks like the returner or special teams player wasn't even looking.
He was headed back to block, but the ball never made it past his line of sight, and instead hits him in the back heel, and the Middie Bears come up with the football, 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line.
Yeah, just got to be aware of what's going on. Can't be too locked in on what you're doing. Just keep an eye on the field.
The first turnover of the night for the Vikings, and it happens on special teams. And we'll see if Middletown can convert on the turnover. Cherry in motion. It's given to Jelani Graham, but ahead of steam by that defense of the Vikings, led by number 56, Thomas Crane IV.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a loss.
Valley Central moving really quick to the ball, winning the line of scrimmage this half so far, at least on defense. And clearly we've seen that in the run game not being as successful for Middletown.
Loss of 2 on the play to the 41-yard line. 2nd and 12 for Middletown as the clock runs down to 6 minutes left in the third, and the Middie Bears leading it 20-7. Rudy Cherry on the carry, trying to get to the far side. He's got Graham in front with a block, and Graham lets Cherry loose down the far sideline. Boy, he just hammered one of the Vikings' would-be tacklers out of the way, creating that extra space for Rudy Cherry down the far sideline, and he takes it from the Middletown 41 all the way to the Valley Central 37-yard line, a pickup of 22 on the play.
And right as I say that Valley Central is winning that line of scrimmage and stopping the run, Middletown's right back at it. Rudy Cherry breaking free with some great blocking for Middletown.
1st and 10 for Middletown. Faison in motion. Russo under center, hands it to Graham. Fresh off that great block. He's got the football in his hand and takes a slew of Vikings with him for another first down carry from the 37 inside the 25. They're going to mark him at the 24-yard line, a 13-yard pickup for Graham.
Yeah, Jelani Graham just dragging defenders through the run.
5:36 remaining in the third. Russo and the Middie Bears on the march, trying to extend on a 13-point lead. They have it 1st and 10 from the Viking 24. Fumble on the snap. Russo keeps it, and he's tackled right away on the play. Fortunate that he was able to hold on to the football. Second time that they've had a fumbled exchange.
Yeah, able to just use that athletic ability to just grab the ball and try to go down with it, trying to make something happen, but it gets hit hard at the end of that play.
Kiernan Bresnik, the outside linebacker, making the stop for Valley Central after the bad snap.
Middletown on the 25-yard line of Valley Central.
2nd and 11. Jelani Graham in the backfield, Russo under center. Give this time to Cherry. He stiffs arm what would-be tackler, which was number 80, Isaiah Cole, but coming up to make the stop once again was Kiernan Bresnik. And a loss of another yard that time for Rudy Cherry.
Just not fast enough to get to that edge and cut up field. Defense still being able to get to the ball quickly for Valley Central.
The last carry, he had Jelani Graham leading the charge on a block. That time he was by his lonesome and couldn't. He was able to stiff arm one of the would-be tacklers, but couldn't get by the second one.
Yeah, two different circumstances there.
This time Russo from 3rd and 13 from the shotgun, straight back to pass on the near side, finds Barbosa at the 25, at the 20, cuts back towards the outside. He's going to be short of the first down, but has a pickup of 8 yards to the 19, and it's going to be enough to make it 4th and 5, a little bit more manageable for Middletown.
As you see this Valley Central team, you see the linebackers, they come to the line and almost act as if they're going to blitz, but come back on the play and are watching it and get into the ball much faster than they have earlier in this game.
4th and 5 for Middletown. They're at the Valley Central 19. Russo under center, 5 seconds left on the play clock. They need to get this off, and they do. Graham's going to throw the football downfield. He's got Barbosa in the corner, but he's pushed out of bounds, and it's going to be out of bounds and incomplete.
Aiden Barbosa able to make the catch, but getting pushed out of bounds by that Valley Central defense.
They were smart enough, the Vikings were, in that secondary to utilize the sideline as an extra defender.
Yeah, and definitely good protection by that Middletown offensive lineman to give Jelani Graham enough time to look for the open receiver. It is 1st and 10 for Valley Central. Sorry, that was 4th down play. Turnover on downs, Valley Central. Luke Watson in the shotgun, takes a snap, high pass, number 16 caught, fumbles the ball. Looks like he's able to get back on top of it, saving the drive for Valley Central. Mason McDonald able to get back on top of it just in time.
So that'll be a 5-yard connection from Watson to McDonald. Montreville on the near side, trying to get the corner. He's got it at the 30. He's got a first down, still on his feet at the 35 before he's finally pushed out of bounds at about the 37-yard line, and that's going to be a first down for Valley Central and Montreville.
And as we've seen in this half, the Valley Central running game has just completely changed and what they're used to, getting those high percentage plays and breaking free into the open field, and you just see Montreville able to use his on-field ability to just cut and get extra yards.
It says he's 5'9" and 189, but it looks smaller than that. But he gets the job done. Watson's going to keep it up the middle. Finally brought down by Middletown's number 44. Eric Murillo on the stop after a pickup of 3. Ball's marked at about the 46-yard line. So they're going to give him 4 yards on the play.
Valley Central looking like they're trying to get to the line early and quick on this drive.
Back to pass is Watson. Had a receiver. It's off the hands of both Garcia and then Mann for Middletown. 2 opportunities to intercept that football, falls for naught.
Luke Watson looked like he had an open receiver, number 12, Jacob Gridley, and just not able to see him in time, and pass was just a little too late.
It's going to be 3rd down for Middletown.
Lucky to not have a turnover there.
Check that 3rd down for Valley Central. Just beyond their 40-yard line. They need to get to the 47 if they want to extend this drive. Montreville on the near side. Good pursuit by that Middletown defense. Finally brought down on the play by Jelani Graham on the near side after he picked up about a yard to the 42. We'll see what the Vikings do here. It does look like they're going to punt the football, but remember, they faked one of the punts in the first half.
Yeah, a fake punt, not a high percentage play to convert. It's a gutsy call, but some trickery.
I think that's Barbosa back for Middletown at his own 30-yard line, ready to receive the punt. Comes towards the near side and goes out of bounds. We'll see where they mark the football. Tim Strenfeld, head coach for Middie, was trying to mark where he's going to be marked off. And they mark him at about the 36. So with 40 seconds left here in the 3rd quarter, Middletown leading at 20-7, and they have the football 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line.
Great night for football. Huge, beautiful moon looking out over the field. Nothing better you could ask for. Middletown starting their drive just on the 36.
1st and 10 for the Middie Bears. Ed Estrada, Anthony Kovacs, Ed Diller bringing you all the action from Fowler Field. Jelani Graham on the carry across the 40. Brought down by number 22, Jaden Singleton for Valley Central at the 41-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. So 2nd and 5 for Middletown from their own 41.
Middletown sticking to the run game, using it to chew the clock. Around 15 seconds left in this 3rd quarter.
Just heard an unusual score. Kingston leading Monroe Woodbury 6-3 in the 3rd quarter. And that would be if the Tigers.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Middletown leading at 20-7. But if that score ever held through through the end, that would be probably the biggest upset in Section 9 this year, because the Crusaders have been a juggernaut. They come into tonight's action 6-0, undefeated, and in 1st place. They did have a hiccup almost last week or the week before against Washingtonville. But Monroe Woodbury has been the cream of the crop so far in Section 9 football, but Kingston leading that game 6-3.
6-3, got to be a defensive battle. Juggernauts, as one would think Monroe is.
So we want to welcome everybody to 845 Sports Nation, as well as Middie TV, bringing you Middletown 2024 football action. The Middie Bears trying to hold on to some positioning for a last playoff spot in their division this year. Despite the 1-5 overall record, they are 1-1 in division and looking to make it 2-1 if they can hold on here against Valley Central. They have a 13-point lead at 20-7 as we start the 4th quarter, and they have the football 2nd and 5 from their own 41.
Valley Central has been given opportunities this half to score. They had a nice opening drive, just couldn't convert on the 4th down. and ended up getting nothing out of it. Middletown back on offense.
First and 10 for second and 5 for the Middie Bears. Jelani Graham. Not sure, but that almost looked like a direct snap.
Yeah, wildcat formation for Middletown there. Not very successful on that.
They're going to mark him at about the 43-yard line for a pickup of 2 on the play. So 3rd down and 3 for Middletown from their own 43-yard line.
Middletown trying to keep their comfortability alive with the 13-point lead. Looks like another direct snap to Jelani Graham.
He's across the 45. Got enough for a first down into Valley Central territory. A nice job. That was all Jelani Graham finding the hole that created by that Middletown offensive line, and he takes the ball from the 43 down to the Valley Central 49. A pickup of 8 on the play and a Middletown first down.
Middletown's offensive line has been very successful on winning the line of scrimmage against the Valley Central D-line. And they have just used every single running back and most plays in that playbook to create the plays and move down the field with the running game.
Jelani Graham this time off the handoff from Russo across the 45, and now he's just getting a big chunk of change just about on every carry.
Yeah. Anthony Russo just handing it off, commanding the offense, being the almost game manager as of right now. He hasn't had to put himself in any risky situations since the right before halftime pick 6, and maybe that's the reason.
Graham's picked up 6 yards on that last play, so 2nd and 4 for Middletown. Actually, give him 5 yards on that play, so 2nd and 5 for Middletown. Face on off the handoff. Trying to get it upfield. He goes across. A nice second effort that time. Is going to get him a first down at about the 36-yard line.
Yeah, just able to bulldoze through the Valley Central defense and move the chains, keeping it going.
Injury timeout.
So the carry, the 7-yard carry from Middletown's Jaden Faison of 7 yards down to the 36 of Valley Central is going to give the Middie Bears a 1st and 10 as we have a Viking down on the far side of the field. Looks like they're tending to a possible left knee injury. Don't have the number for you yet on who that might be. Down at the 40-yard line. It's homecoming weekend here at Fowler. 9:39 remaining in the ball game. Middletown leads at 20-7. We've had no scoring here in the
second half, and it's just been a defensive juggernaut as of now, and both teams have created turnovers. For the first one for Valley Central, as we saw this half, and it continues to be a standstill at the score. Middletown leads 20-7, 13-point lead, 9 minutes and 39 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. As the offense comes back out onto the field and is ready to continue the drive.
handoff. Graham again. Why not? He's at the 30, the 25. Stiff arms one player. Kept inbounds for a long period of time before he's finally pushed out at the 20-yard line. But it's going to be another 16-yard pickup for Jelani Graham in a Middletown first down.
Jelani Graham, he comes out of the backfield, looks like he shot out of a cannon with that speed and just takes it down the sideline for right around 15 yards. The running game has been nothing but dominant all night for Middletown.
First and 10, ball's at the Viking 20. Russo under center for Middletown. Graham up the middle. Gang tackled by 4 Vikings, but not before he picked up 4 yards on the play on his 13th carry of the night.
Anthony Russo going back to his coach, Tim Strenfeld, for the play. As he goes back, it is 2nd and 6.
64 yards unofficially on the night for Jelani Graham on 13 carries. But he's got 32 yards on his last 3 carries. That's Garcia in motion. The pitch to Graham. He's at the 15, tries to cut back inside. The lunge might have got him the first down near the 10. We'll see where they mark the football.
Nice pitch play, good offensive blocking by the line for Middletown. Able to fight for the yardage. Don't know if that first down.
Now they're going to mark him a yard short, it looks like, but a 5-yard pickup. He's getting between 5 to 10 yards on just about every carry now here in the 4th.
That's a great average.
And you mentioned it earlier, Anthony. You know, you wear down the defense. This Valley Central defense, not as much here in the second half, but they've been on the field for a large portion of this football game.
Yeah, and it leads to drives like this lingering with 7 minutes remaining in this game.
Graham, face on with the lead block inside the 5-yard line. They'll mark him right at the 5.
Just chugging through the defense.
6 yards on the carry, 1st and goal for Middletown at the Valley Central 5-yard line. Graham now 15 carries on the night, 75 yards on the ground.
Looks like Rudy Cherry's in for this play and is lined up wide.
Yep, he's lined up as the tight end. Graham, you might go to that side running the football. Yep, they're giving it to Cherry. Just a good call, Anthony, on the near side, but he unable to stiff arm a couple of would-be Valley Central Viking tacklers, finally brought down by number 8, Dejon Thompson.
Yeah, with no blocking from we saw in previous plays. Jelani Graham's not out there to give you that block on the edge. Harder to stiff arm guys when you got 3 of them coming at you.
Loss of 3 on the play for Cherry and the Middie Bears. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the Valley Central 8-yard line. Middletown desperately trying to put this one away with another score. They could just about do that. Fakes the handoff to Graham, gives it to Cherry. This time he's got a head of steam near the end zone. Falls just short at about the 1-yard line, so a 7-yard pickup for Rudy Cherry.
Yeah, it looked like he's going in for the score, and Valley Central able to put their feet in the dirt and just hold him up at the line on the 1 for Middletown. 3rd and goal.
Third and goal from the 1 for Middletown. Graham in the backfield. Russo under center. That's face on going left to right. Fumble on the snap, picked up by Russo. 2nd time, the lunge towards the end zone. Did he get in? And he did. Touchdown for Middletown. Fortunate 2nd time they fumbled the football near the goal line, and both times they've come away with it.
Yeah, Anthony Russo able to just do what I guess he does in this game. He's picking up the ball and just pushing himself forward.
Yeah.
As long as those legs keep
Jelani
churning.
Graham pushed him a little bit from behind too. But this is, I think, at least 3 times where he's fumbled the football and recovered his own fumble from the snap.
Yeah, we saw late in the 3rd quarter around the 30-yard line, he fumbled and was able to bring it back. And now it's the 2nd time we've seen it at the goal line where he's had to do that.
So Suazo Castillo with the extra point. It's nice and high and good. And with 5:11 remaining in the ball game, Middletown gets that 20-point advantage back, and they lead it 27-7.
Middletown just able to capitalize on that running game tiring out the defense, as we've both mentioned now. And just, you see that Valley Central just hasn't had the time of possession in order to score. We've seen the drives this half way better than we had in the first half, but still unable to capitalize on offense, with their only points coming from the pick six at the end of the first half.
We'll have our players of the game after this match is completed. And right now for the Valley Central side of the ledger, they're led by number 2, Julian Montreville. The senior running back.
Logan Young back to return. Looks like it goes right to him once again. Going up to the 30, cutting inside, brought down around the 34-yard line.
Tell you, he's looked good back there returning kicks for sure.
Yeah, he's speedy. He got some agility to him too.
I don't know, Anthony. So when you're looking at the Middletown side of the ledger, obviously Jelani's had a great second half, but wondering if perhaps our player of the game might be Javion Roldan, who got it started in the first half with that 44-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, he had those quick legs in the first half, and he was able to get through those tight holes and open up the field and just break it loose.
And he's got, let's see, 44, 49, 51, 53, 64, 72, 71 yards on the ground and a touchdown of 44 yards. So he might be the player. Up the middle, Montreville again at the 45, the 50. Going to make it easy to see who's going to be the player of the game for Valley Central, as he just scampers right now for 19 yards on the play.
Just weaving in and out of tacklers as we have an injury for Valley Central.
Injury timeout.
That is number 5, Denzel St. John. Four minutes and 40 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. Middletown leads 27-7 with a 20-point comfortable lead.
We do have a player down on the near side. That's the third player that's gone down. Looks like a cramp right now around the Achilles, or a cramp for number 5 for the Vikings. That's Denzel St. John. So that was a 19-yard pickup for Montreville. He's got 65 yards on the night on 13 carries.
As we see Denzel St. John walking off the field with some help. But good to see he's able to get up.
4:40 remaining. Ed Estrada, Anthony Kovacs, Ed Diller bringing you all the action from Fowler. Middletown leading it 27-7 over Valley Central with the win. Middletown will go to 2-5 overall on the year, but more importantly in their division, they'll be 2-1. Valley Central will drop to 3-3 overall, 1-3 in their division. A battle really to who's going to get that fourth and final playoff spot, with Monroe, Newburgh, and Pine Bush all in the mix for the other 3 spots. And a fumbled snap right through the legs of Watson. He does recover the football. Going to look downfield. It's almost intercepted. Would have been a pick 6 on the far side for the Middie Bears.
Almost,
but unable to come down with the football.
Almost bailed out. You don't get the sack. And it's just an incomplete pass. You don't lose any yards.
I think that was, let me see, that might have been number 27 for the Middie Bears, who didn't come down with the football, Jaden Sastry, but he saw nothing but green in front of him.
That's best case scenario for Valley Central.
Yep,
for them
second and 10 is just an incomplete pass. Watson will try it again, this time over the middle. He's got a receiver for a Viking first down deep into Middletown territory at about the 30-yard line. It's going to be a 16-yard pickup for Watson as he connects with number 3, Derek Vincent.
Seeing the passing game come into play late in the game here. 4 minutes and 15 seconds remain in the fourth quarter. Valley Central still down 20. Still trying to move the ball down the field.
Only the third completion of the night for Valley Central in the air, with 4 minutes remaining in the ball game, and they trail it by 20. Watson, Montreville on the carry inside, gets it down to about the 26-yard line, so a 4-yard pickup for Montreville.
Valley Central has seen not a lot of time of possession on offense, but trying to take advantage of it here late in the game.
Going to keep it this time. Watson at the 25-yard line, trying to get near the near side, pulls it upfield. He's got enough for a first down. A nice job by Watson, taking his time down the near sideline as the ball's now marked at the 14-yard line. Pickup of 16 on the play by Watson.
And able to get out of bounds and stop the clock with 3:25 remaining.
6th carry of the night for Watson. He's got 37 yards. Montreville on the far side, inside the 10. Big yardage on first down, near the first down marker, might be a yard short for Montreville. The ball's marked right at the 5-yard line, I believe. A pickup of 9. Montreville with the carry, sidesteps a would-be tackler, still on his feet near the goal line. It's going to come short just at the 1, a pickup of 4.
Valley Central still looking for their first offensive score of the game at the 1 of Middletown with just above 2 minutes and 25 seconds remaining.
First and goal for the Vikings. Really trying to get their first offensive touchdown of the night. The first one was a pick 6. Watson's going to keep it and walk it in gently. Touchdown for the Vikings with 2:11 left in the ball game. And it's 27-13 in favor of Middletown.
And breaks the 3 quarters of no offensive scoring for Valley Central.
As we mentioned, that's their first offensive score. The first one was the interception return to end the first half.
Yeah, which looked like it would swing the tide a little bit, but the Middletown defense did not break.
And really, that was the turning point. Blocked on the extra point. So both teams have missed a PAT this evening, and that keeps the score at 27-13. Middletown will now gain possession and hopefully look to put this one away. Senior running back number 2 for Valley Central has 16 carries unofficially, 82 yards on the night.
14-point game.
See an onside kick here, Anthony?
If I'm Valley Central, I'm doing whatever I can to try to get myself a chance to win. I would say definitely expect an onside kick if I'm Middletown and don't get caught sleeping like Valley Central did on their first. And it does look like they're setting up for an onside kick here, I would assume. Middletown is.
Yeah, they have all their hands people up. Now it's interesting, they've loaded it to the near side Only 2 on the far side, so we'll see if maybe they kick it to that far side where there's only 2 players, but arguably their 2 best hands people in Graham and Barbosa. And the ball goes by Graham in pursuit. Does the ball go out of bounds?
Looks
We'll
like
get an
Jelani.
indication here.
Looks like Jelani Graham was able to grab it right before
Yep,
it went out of bounds.
you're right, and he's getting some congratulations from Garcia. Boy, nice wherewithal, nice and calm going after that football. I would have been freaking out,
Yeah.
knowing that there's a whole host of white uniformed individuals getting ready on your back.
Yeah, just ready to prant, like, trying to think of the word, I can't even.
You're right, pounce.
Pounce.
Yeah.
There's the word. There we go. Couldn't even think of it.
So 2:11 remaining. Valley Central has all 3 timeouts. They'll likely utilize them here, as you would expect Middletown to run the football. But they're going to have to call timeout here. Coach Strenfield's going to have to use his first one because the clock's running down with 3 seconds. And that's what they're going to do. So couldn't get the play in time for about, let's see, you're allowed
Middletown.
You're allowed 6 timeouts in a ball game, 3 in each half. And I believe Middletown's used 5 of them to avoid delay of game calls. At least 2 of the 3 in the first half.
Yep.
And now the one that they've used here. So far they've used 4 timeouts in the ball game, and 3 of the 4 have been utilized to avoid a delay of game penalty.
Yeah, you look at this game and you see positives of Middletown's offense, but it's the little things you're going to need to work on and clean up in order to have the team you really want. You want them to excel, but delay of games and not being able to get to the line of scrimmage before the play clock winds down is the little things that make a team go from good to great.
So looking at this Middletown schedule, as we mentioned, they're on the road next week at Pine Bush. Our next broadcast here from Middie TV and 845 Sports Nation will be 2 weeks on November 1st, a big matchup here at Fowler when the Middie Bears take on the Monroe Woodbury Crusaders. That'll be the last game of the year before the start of the playoffs in Section 9. And I believe that's going to be, I'm not
Dead
sure if
ball,
it's motion.
Snap infraction on the center. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
And yet another penalty for Middletown, as we see.
Wow, the upset has happened with Kingston as they defeat Monroe Woodbury this year and give the Crusaders their first blemish of the year. Wow. Kingston, the last place team in the division, defeating the first place team. A nice run getting back to penalty yardage for Middletown.
Seems like maybe it was Monroe's off night.
Number 6 on the carry, his first one of the night, Christian Ethier for Middletown.
Minute 55 remaining in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 10 for Middletown.
Timeout for Valley
Timeout,
Central.
Valley Central.
So a 5-yard pickup for Ethier. So it was a 12-10 win for Kingston over Monroe Woodbury. Man, that's such a shocker. The Crusaders had already beaten Cornwall this year. They beat Newburgh at Newburgh. Just and a Kingston team that we mentioned earlier won their first game of the year at Nyack, and then we saw them against Goshen. They lost to Goshen and then have lost every game since then, including last week. They lost to this very Kingston team, Valley Central team, 24-13, and they lost to Middletown 44-14.
And yet,
they gave up 10 points to the
any
Crusaders
given week,
tonight.
It's
Yep.
any given week in football. It doesn't matter how good of a team. It just depends on how you perform that night.
So Middletown and Monroe, but believe it or not, the Middie Bears are going to be tied for first place in the division at 2-1.
The record, the overall
Timeout,
record
BC.
might not say that, but in the league standings, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So no pickup on that one for the Middie Bears. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10. 1:47 remaining here at Fowler. Middletown leads at 27-13. They have the football on their own 41 on a 3rd and 10 with Valley Central having one more timeout.
Do you throw it or do you run it?
No. I would venture not, because the last time the Middie Bears tried to do that to end the first half was a pick 6 in the other direction. So I don't think they want to try to have it here and give it up by mistake and then give Valley Central an opportunity to score real quick and then get an onside and get the ball right back. So
another thing that Middletown should watch out for is that snap. You don't want another loose one.
Great point.
And Anthony Russo have to try and grab it before Valley Central has a chance. Oh my, looks like a throw down the field and just overthrown and stops the clock. Looks like he was aiming for number 14, Amir Lewis.
Not sure why the Middie Bears would throw there on 3rd down, stop the clock. Valley Central doesn't use its timeout. A little bit baffling for me, but maybe Coach Stren saw something I did not see there.
Maybe he heard what I said.
But on the positive side, he didn't throw an interception on that one.
Yeah, he just overthrew the receiver a little bit. Number 14, Amir Lewis, like I said.
Why is the clock running? Was that play not an incomplete pass? And now the officials are calling a timeout, and I think that's what they're talking about.
Gonna have to reset the play clock.
And the clock's still running. Now the official walking to the near side.
Will the clock operator put 137 back on the clock, please? 137.
So they put up 137 remaining. Middletown will punt the football. And what you definitely don't want to do here is give up a punt return. And Valley Central special teams on kick returns and punt returns has done pretty well tonight.
Yeah, we've seen Logan Young be able to be pretty shifty when it comes to returning.
So the ball goes out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, 42-yard line of Valley Central. They'll take over. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line for Valley Central.
Not terrible field position at all for an offense, but with 1 minute and 31 seconds remaining, doesn't look too bright.
Luke Watson has been the quarterback all night long. He's back in there with Julian Montreville, the running back, to his side. Low snap handled by Young, looking downfield. Almost coming down with it. Would have been a pretty catch by number 8, Dejon Thompson. Good coverage downfield for Middletown, and yet Watson almost found Thompson's fingertips.
Yeah, it looked like a nice throw. Just better defense at the end of the day. Breaks up the pass. Good for Middletown. Stops the clock. Minute 24 remaining. 2nd and 10 for Valley Central.
Ball at the 42 of the Vikings. 2nd and 10 for Valley Central. They trail by 13. Watson back to pass. He's going to hold on to the football. In pursuit is Graham and Sherry, and they finally make him go out of bounds. So 1:17 remaining. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. No gain on the play for Watson. They actually will give him a yard pickup on that. So 3rd and 9. Yardage and down not important as much as 1:17 remaining on the clock right now.
Yeah, at this point, not about the stats. More about trying to get in the end zone here and keep the game alive.
Rolling towards his right. Looking down the near side. Had a receiver, but overthrew him at midfield. That was number 5. Denzel St. John trying to come down with the football, but it falls incomplete. And this will be the ball game opportunity here for the Vikings as they face 4th and 9 from their own 43-yard line, trailing by 14.
Good to see Denzel St. John come back from the injury or cramp, whatever we saw earlier. Coming back into the game, trying to make an impact at the end of the game.
1:10 remaining, 4th down. And I believe Middletown will call a timeout here on defense.
Middletown.
Want to regroup, make sure you don't give up any big plays. You got 4th down, and that should be the ball game with Valley Central having 1 timeout remaining. Here comes 4th down. Final play, Luke Watson going deep.
Intercepted. Go ahead, finish it, Anthony.
Picked off number 5.
Barbosa.
Valley Central. By Middletown, Barbosa. Aiden Barbosa with the interception to cap off the game for the Middletown Middies. And that'll end the game.
Yeah, so Barbosa with the pick. Tackled on the play by Denzel St. John. A really nice rebound for Middletown after last week's loss to Newburgh on homecoming weekend here at Fowler. With the win, the Middie Bears are going to go to 2-5 overall, but more importantly, 2-1 in their division. And we just heard Monroe Woodbury, who was undefeated going into tonight's action, has lost their first divisional game to Kingston, and we'll have the Crusaders. That'll be our next game here on 845 Sports Nation and Middie TV in about 2 weeks right here at Fowler.
Yeah, Middletown gets handed a gift tonight with a division rival getting their first loss of the season, with Monroe dropping to 6-1.
So this is to kneel down, and this is going to do it. The last 2 plays, they'll have to do this one more, although the clock hasn't started yet. And now it finally has, a few seconds late. Last 30 seconds here at Fowler. Middie Bears, their first home win of the season, will come at homecoming as both teams line up and get ready for the post-game handshake, the last 15 seconds. Nice crowd here at Fowler, a beautiful evening, perfect temperature. Nice fall night here in October in the Hudson Valley as the clock winds down to triple zeros, and it's a Middletown win at home against Valley Central, 27-13. And after our post-game handshake, we'll have our player of the game announcements at midfield. And we know that it'll be Montreville for Valley Central. Julian Montreville, the senior running back at 5'9", 165 pounds, coming in. Had about 82 yards on 16 carries in the game. And for Middletown, you could have picked a couple of different running backs. But I think I went with Rodin only because he got Middletown off to a good start tonight.
Yeah, you need a quick start to win a game, and Rodin gave exactly what you wanted. You got the quick score, shifty, great moves, and had great yardage tonight. It was a great performance by the running game for Middletown.
Good job by head coach Tim Strenfeld and his offensive coordinator as they started off with, like you just said, the sneaky back in Rodin, and then they pounded away in the second half with Jelani Graham, who had a really nice second half.
Yeah, and Rudy Cherry, who also was in there a bunch with great blocks.
Faison also had a couple of plays in there. So really a nice ball game all around for Middletown tonight as we take a look at the two players of the game at midfield. You see number 2, Julian Montraval for Valley Central. And for Middletown, who I'm told will be very excited that he's the player of the game, is Javion Roldan. And so congratulations to both Javion Roldan and for Valley Central's Julian Montreville, your players of the game. Your final score, we'll see you in 2 weeks here at Fowler when the Middie Bears take on the Crusaders of Monroe-Woodbury. Right now, Middletown making a strong stand for that last playoff spot in Section 9, Class AA. Your final score from Fowler Field for Anthony Kovacs and Ed Diller, Ahmed Estrada, Middletown 27 and Valley Central 13.